Hello, good evening, welcome. My name is Kwabena. This is uh, 2020, 2020. Well, I I remember when we were growing up, when we were children, we would hear Vision 2020, and I think maybe we're in primary school or somewhere JHS or somewhere like that. And we are in 2020. We are growing, and once you're growing, you tend to find out some things. You tend to think the essence of human life, the beauty of life is that you grow. And the best way to grow for me is the revelations that you tend to find out. Um, the human mind, it's like a computer. If you put a program on it, it's very difficult to take it out until there's a higher program that can maybe correct the errors in it. I'm talking about the truth we know and practice. The truth we know and practice. We seem to have been brought up in a world, in a society, in a culture where we see a lot of pain, a lot of struggles, a lot of poverty, and all kind of things have been told us what it takes to become successful. I think that every human wants to become relevant, wants to become successful, but then the that we need to cross is that we've been told, are they close to the truth or they are far from the truth? What I found out is that if you pick anybody who has seen some kind of success in any sphere of life, whether it's politics, whether it's business, whether it's family life, whether it's a social service, anybody who has been successful in any life, they seem to share similar thoughts on some things. And for me, that is why those people succeed. If you pick all these great musicians, footballers, politicians, pick somebody like Mandela, his convictions on every major issue on his core was very close to the truth. So if you're going to live your life in a more fulfilling way, you must come close to what is true in that particular field. If you never start with that, it will be very difficult to succeed. So a lot of people have grown up with opinions, and we live in a world where everybody has an opinion, and relativism, and it's relative, and that's what you think. Kind of world that we have grown in. But for it to work, whether it's business, whether it's finance, whether it's a talent that you want to develop, there is something that you must find out. And that then cuts across everywhere. It works for anybody and it works everywhere. They call the truth. So, for instance, this is finance. If your ideas are very far from the truth in how to accumulate finance or wealth, you will not succeed. It's not an opinion. Most people are just going, your star must first of all be built on that which works for everybody, that which works everywhere. And that which works for everybody and works everywhere is the truth. And so our duty as we grow up is to find out, where is it in your life that you find struggling? Where is it in your life that you find difficult? Where is it in your life that you think that you're frustrated? You don't know the way out. You're in darkness. The truth is that anywhere of our life that we find consistent failure of progress is so likely that we are that much far from that which works for everybody. And that which works everywhere and for everybody is the truth. And so our duty is to make sure that for instance, if you're doing business and you keep on struggling with the finances, it's so likely that there is something about that which works for everybody that you're far from. And that's why we are struggling. If it's marriage, there is something about marriage for people who have been able to succeed in marriage. There's something they know. If you don't know that, then you're going to struggle. And so the moment you start to discover that, you start to see. You discover that and you practice, you start to see success and progress. So I'm talking about the truth that we know and practice. If you find out, for instance, gravity, they told us if you go to a certain height and you jump, you will come down. Now it works everywhere in this earth or on this earth. So as long as we are on this earth, that is the truth. You get to any height, you will drop. On this earth, what is your truth? Or what is the truth that you have found about life? What is the truth that you have found about, money? What is the truth that you have found about yourself? Human beings. What is the truth that you have found about, the application of love, of wisdom? What is the truth that you have found about even religion? You know, religion, prayer, for instance. A lot of people talk about prayer. What is your truth about prayer? Because it does not matter the status or the standard of whoever has taught you. If what they are teaching you is far from the truth, it doesn't matter how long they teach you. It's not going to get you results. So the truth that you find and practice is responsible for your peace, for your success, for your fulfillment in this world. So if you've never been told, if all that you've been told in this world is not truth, if you've not been told with how to identify what is true and what is not true, when they tell you lies, you'll never find out. And so most people grow up, specialize in things that are very far from truth. And then they look out and give all kind of explanations as to the results they are getting. But sometimes, or a lot of the times, it never occurs to them, or it never occurs to them. It works for everybody, everywhere, and anytime. And that is the truth. So what is it that you have found? What is the truth that you have found? When you were children, they said, truth is one. Some people, they say, it depends on, those kind of thinking. No, truth is one. If you stole the money, you stole it. If you didn't steal the money, you didn't steal it. If you came to meet that car parked at that place, you can't say that maybe perhaps, no. Did you see the car parked at that place? Yes, I didn't see it. Truth, they say, is one. So you cannot just give an opinion on that which works for everybody. If you stole the exams, you know that you stole during the exam. Things that are universally applicable, and those that you find and use, those will determine the results that you get and the results that you don't get. So the truth is one, they say, and it is omnipotent. You cannot crush it, you can't destroy it. No matter how they say you hide it, it will come out. They try to tell us that Africans were not human beings, we were animals, we were substandard. It never worked because that was a lie. So that which is true, nobody can kill it. They can call us chimpanzee, all kind of things, but it comes out that is not true. They try to hide Africa from the rest of the world. In jungle, we hang on trees. No, because the truth is that which works at all times. So you can't hide it. And the person with truth, you can fight them and win. Because whoever wins is the one who is always telling the truth at all times. So you are at a workplace. If you saw somebody steal and you will not stand up for that, that thing will come out one way or the other. So lies will come out and truth will come out. A lot of the times, most people will go with that which is not true. Because for you to stand which is true, there'll be a lot of controversies. It takes a lot of courage to stand with what is true. Truth, they say, is absolute, is complete. There's no maybe in what is true. It works at all time. That's why the greatest philosophers that have ever lived have tried to grapple with truth. That's why Jesus said that I'm the way, the truth, and life. Great minds have always tried to define that. So if you have lived 20 years, 30 years, to study this subject, go and study it. There are a lot of write-ups, there are a lot of writings on what is truth. Find out. Because most greatest achievers have some kind of knowledge on truth. I was listening to this woman who was so courageous and to the powers. And somebody said, but are you not afraid that they will kill you? So no, what I'm saying is true, so I'm not afraid. Those who are very courageous are people who have found out what is true in wherever or in whatever they stand. So the truth that you have found out and practice is deciding your level. It's not an opinion. It's not an opinion. When we were growing up, they would tell us that, it's dangerous to live in Africa. You're never going to succeed. It's not true. Once you find out what it takes to succeed, you will be successful anywhere. It doesn't matter where it is, because there are tenets, there are principles, there are applications. Once you find out those applications, you'll be successful. So our duty is to find out the truth in any field. So if it's marriage, what is the truth? How do you marry? How do you stay with a woman? How do you raise a family? If you don't find that out, you will struggle. If it's business, you must find out what is true, what works in a business. It's not an opinion. People who have been successful in running business, they found out something. They may have found out from different ways, but they came to that one thing, which is called the truth. And if you practice that, you find out and you practice that, you will succeed. It doesn't matter how long it will take, you will succeed. If you want to live a healthy life, there are principles, there are truths in living a healthy life. If you don't find those out, you will not live a healthy life. It's not an opinion. And so the truth that you find will keep you from being destroyed, will keep you from being annihilated. It will protect you. It's the truth that you know. The truth that we all know, which is responsible for every progress, every success that we get in any field. So our duty as we grow up, our duty as humans is to be, to dig, to find out, to cross, just to get to the truth in that thing that you want to do. If you're far from, it's as simple as that. For instance, maybe innovators, creators. Find out those who created. A lot of them. If you sample 100 of them, I can guarantee you that you can get close to 90% of them who had a particular lifestyle. And that's why they were successful. And that lifestyle will cut across all of them. It means that they found out that if you pick the most successful footballers, if you look at how they practice, how they train, how they take instruction, how they follow instruction, you can see they may not even know themselves, but they behave in a particular way. And that's why they were successful there. If you find anybody who is failing in any particular area, go and find out. There will be a lot of things that they all had in common. So truth, the one that is our duty to find. Life is not supposed to be confusing. Life is not supposed to be enigmatic, or it's not supposed to be a mystery that we are trying to find out. Life, you can see everywhere that these people who have been successful, they found out. So the truth you're finding out, some of the truth that you would have to find out is that you, as a human being, you have the right to live here and use that. The truth that you have to find out is that you have talent, you have purpose. You are not just here for a mistake. That is a truth. It's for every human life. That is a truth that you must find out yourself. And that another man does not have control over your destiny and over your purpose. You're accountable. You must come to that realization that I'm accountable. And that my mind, the knowledge that I have, is what is going to be responsible for the results that I get. The truth that I find out. You must come to find out that there's something called wisdom. There's something called the ability to think. There's something called faith. There's something called money. There's something called knowledge. There's something called skill development. There's something called commitment, time. What is your understanding of time? If you don't know time and you don't get close to the fact of time, if your concept of money is far from the truth, you will struggle financially. So what is it that you have found out? What is it that you have found out? The truth that we all find out. That truth is responsible for our resource. That truth is responsible for our fulfillment in life. And that truth is responsible for our peace. So the closer, even as a country, the closer we get to finding out the truth as to how a nation is built, that's the point that we are going to build our nation. So that is the truth. You have to find out. The responsibility is on you to find out. The responsibility is on me to find out what is true. And the fact is that truth is supreme. Truth is absolute. Truth works everywhere at all times for anybody who identifies it. So find out. It's not an opinion. There are a lot of people, for instance, in our country, you see a lot of crazy things and people are just trying to do anything for anything. So the value for truth, the value for knowledge, the value for wisdom, the value for thinking is so much relegated to somewhere. So anybody at all, you can see this is an idiot around them making a lot of noise. And these kind of tendencies are going to create a whole generation that is going to live far from that which is true. And so you're going to see a lot of people who will be frustrated. They are talented, but they don't know how to get from the talent to results because they don't know. They have not taken their time. They've not been aware. They are not aware of what we call truth. So like you're a grown-up man, you dream and you're looking for another man to interpret for you. Somebody controls your money. They tell you that bring this money every time. They tell you that God told me to tell you. Those are a lot of them are not far. They're very far from the truth. So the people who want you to stay away from the truth will become champion. They will look like God in front of you. They will tell you that without them you can't get to anywhere. All of us to find out the truth for ourselves. You have to come to a stage where you say that I am a full human being. I am responsible for things that happen in my life. I must find the truth myself. The truth on anything. Just mention on anything. There is some truth that works there. If we don't find out, we are going to struggle. So a lot of our struggles that they blame all these demons and all these things for is because we are in darkness in such areas. It's not because there is demon. The truth, the people who know it. Why didn't they kill Nelson Mandela in the prison? Why couldn't they kill him? Because he knew something. He was in a certain state of thinking. So he found out the truth. That's why the courage was coming from that. Why is it that they, Luther King was he knew he was going to die. He knew it. He knew that they could kill him. Why was he not afraid? Because of the truth he knew. So the difference between men is the quality of truth they know. And courageous men walk in the light. And the light is the truth. And the truth you must find out yourself. And you can't kill the truth, you can't hide it. If you are on the side of truth, nothing can take you out. Nothing can take you out. People can curse you, they can take, because the one with the truth than any other. Anybody who carries what is true. So it's our duty to learn that. So the farther we are from the truth, the more afraid we are, the more we can be taken out, the more they can kill us because you don't know the truth. The more you know the truth in any field, you will have the endurance, the resilience to keep going. So the most dangerous human beings on earth are those who have found the truth in anything. The truth in anything. The truth in anything. I remember the time I traveled to another country, and this guy was, he was a white guy who thought, said, so are you going to go to your country? I said, yes. So why? Is it not dangerous there? So no, but I was living there. For him, he knows lies because he's been painted the whole wrong picture about where I come from. But I knew that what he knew was wrong. So I was not afraid. So I knew that, yes, I was coming from a background, a country that is so fantastic. But for him, I was coming from a country that it was an honor to live in his country. He was in darkness. He was prejudiced. I was in the light. To my country. So the truth that you know is responsible for your success. If you don't get close to finding the truth, you will go up and come down. Go up and come. That's the essence. That is the essence of life. The beauty of life is that we are living to finding out what is true and to apply it. Then we get the results. So it's not so much of the difficulties and the hardships of life. No. The most challenging trouble is that most people have no idea that there's a certain truth in anything that I must find out and apply for it to work. And once you find out, nothing can stop you from getting the results that anybody else, got. So that is it. My name is Kwabena. I'm talking about the truth that we all find out. It's our duty to find out that truth. And once you find out and you practice it, you get the results. It's more fulfilling, it's more peaceful. and nothing can take it out from you. Nobody can kill you. Nobody can take that results from you. So a lot of people are worried, my enemies, people want to, no. What you know is the one which is preserving you. What you know, the level of truth that you know is the one which is preserving you. So if you don't know anything, then you live in darkness. And once you live in darkness, you're afraid. You're afraid of demons, you're afraid of people cursing you. You're afraid. Because that's the level. Once you have the truth, you're not afraid of anything. So you see, it's our duty to find out that. Find out that anything that is not working in your life, whether it's career, whether it's marriage, whether it's finance, whether it's your health, whatever is not working, find out. What is it that I know here? Is it the truth or is it just an opinion? Because if you don't have the truth, life is struggling. But if you have the truth, you're courageous. No problem. It's so difficult. No failure can stop you because you have the facts, you have the truth, and the truth works everywhere for everybody. So our duty is to find the truth. Find it. And what we are saying is that the truth works everywhere. It's absolute. You can kill it. In our language, in our proverbs, say the truth is one. Nobody is one. So you have to find that one. And once you find it, that's the key. It works everywhere. So thank you very much for finding the truth about the dignity of all human beings. All human beings are supposed to be treated equally and fairly. Male, female, children, adult, white, black, Chinese. The truth treated with dignity. That's the truth. So if you treat another human being differently, you are far from the truth. That we must not steal and cheat and like you're public official, you're stealing from your country, you're far from the truth. It will destroy you because that which only protects is the truth. The truth is the only one that protects. You don't have to be a Christian or you don't have to be a Muslim. Say that this is the truth. We all know it. And once you are in the truth, you don't hide. So you're doing something you're hiding, it's telling you that you're far from the truth. So once you're in the truth, itself is the protection. Itself is the growth. Itself is the miracle. So you don't have to even look for the miracle. Look for the truth. Once you find the truth in any field, it doesn't matter how long it takes. It will shoot. It will work. So the truth is that opportunities are everywhere. And opportunities are in you. That's the truth. That's the fact. So human beings who found this out live their life. Go to another country to become successful. No. That is not the truth. That's an opinion. The truth is that once you find out what your life is about, to develop your talent, there are problems everywhere. And once there are problems everywhere, solve any of the problems. And once you can start to solve problems, people will come to you. Once people will come to you, you become more significant because people only look for people who can solve problems for them. This is the truth. This is the truth. This is the truth. That's it. The truth is that all human beings run on. You don't run on petrol, you run on blood. The truth is that cars must have energy to run. So that is my take. The truth is that are valuable. Treat them well. The truth is that if you want to solve problems, study the problems also. So just the consciousness that there's something called truth and it is responsible. Knowing it and practicing it is responsible for the level or the quality of life that I'm living, the relevance that I have, the joy, the peace. If you don't have peace, it's not the problems. It's the truth that you know and you're practicing. There's no problem in this life that should be able to take your peace from you. No problem. No problem. There's no problem in this life that should be able to make you not to sleep, to make it, especially when it has to do with you. Whether it's money that you don't have, husband that you're looking for, or children that you're looking for, those things should never be able to take your peace. But they can take your peace if the truth you know about those things are far from the truth itself. If the truth you know is far from the truth. I don't know if I'm making sense. The truth you know, the truth you're operating with, if it's not the truth, then those things will get to your spirit. Then you can be weakened. Then you can be troubled. Then you can be less. Then you can feel like you are late. Then you can feel like your friends are better than you. Then you can feel like another human being is far more talented than you. But once you get to that which is true for everybody, What that which is true for everybody is that we are all gifted, and there's no special case for anybody. And you can start from where you are and develop yourself and fight, and the opportunities everywhere. You only need the light, So my name is Kwabena. Thank you for watching. I am wrapping up and I'm saying that the truth we know and practice is responsible for our life. And the truth cannot be killed. The truth is absolute, is supreme, is one. And so find out in any field of life that you are, if there are a lot of frustrations your way through, don't hold on to your thinking, because the thing about brain is that once it's programmed in a particular way, it's has to change it, But if you want to get results, we must be able to open ourselves, ask questions to say that which I'm doing, is that the truth? Is it? Do I have the right key? If it's not, for instance, if you're not acquiring knowledge, if you're not training yourself, if you're not upgrading yourself all the time, looking for information and practicing them, trying them, some will not work, some will work, but you're practicing, becoming better. If you're not doing that and you just live your life thinking that life will be easy, that'll be very difficult, because that which makes life easy is the application of the truth. So you're discovering, you're looking for information all the time, you're looking for knowledge all the time, that which works. If you don't look for that, life becomes difficult. And that's why people come up with all kind of philosophies on life. Life is a mystery, life is this, life is that, life is painful, because they forget about that which is true. So it's our duty, to live life. Going forward, look around. The man has been deceiving you all these years. He's been telling like the 2020, they will tell you this year is a year. Those are not true. This year you are going to be, no. That which you are going to be is that which you have prepared yourself and you are committed to work it through. That's a fact. Look at 2019. The things that came to you were the things that you were committed in. You pumped time and resources in, and then you started to get results in that. It's not because somebody pronounced anything. No. Our destiny is not in another man's mouth or in another man's hands. It's in our hands. That's the basic fact of life. People can help you to discover and help you and encourage you to become better, but the resultant effect is that your life is your responsibility, and your life is going to reflect what you know. Then why would God judge you if somebody else is responsible for your results? So your results is you. So what is it that you're learning? Studying. If you are not committed to studying and learning anything and applying them yourself, another man's pronouncement is not going to cause anything in big lie. So your commitment is to say that what is it that people have been telling you all these years? Check the facts, check the results. Is it true? If it's not getting you results and people are not, if just 1 out of 1,000 comes to give you testimony, that looks like a lie to me. If it's true, then everybody must get the results. If they apply it, So if there's one, you're just trying to take advantage of your brain. So the truth that you know and practice is the one that is going to be responsible for your results in this life, So there's no difficulty that you cannot overcome. There's no challenge that you cannot overcome if you commit yourself to finding out that which is true and steady. Steady. Once you commit to studying, you will know. You will know. Just this thing, just finding out, is it true? Is the truth here? Is what you for the last 30 years, is it the truth, or we deviated from it? Because great men, great women who did anything significant found out the truth, and that's why they were ready to die for them. A lot of them died for it. Their conviction is the truth. And you can see those who operated from top levels, they share the same thinking. They were never afraid. They were never afraid of death. They were never afraid of controversies. They were there to fight for the people. They were there to liberate lives, make life better for others. They were not selfish. That's the truth. They were selfish. They were ready to tell it as it is. They were ready to pump in more hours to get results. They were ready to do more than any other person. These are the things that you find out. And these are the things that get results. But if you're not ready to do this and you just hope that things will get better, that is not true. If you're just there trying to, cut corners and cheat and lie and buy a car and house, it's going to crash on you. Why? Because that is a lie. That which is ultimately standing, that which ultimately is true. So that's why Jesus said, I'm the way, the truth, and life. The way, the truth. If you find the truth, you find life. If you find truth, you find a way. If you find truth, nothing can crush you. Doesn't matter who is what. Anybody that you want to listen to should be the one. And nobody is better than what is true. So there are a lot of people who teach things because they have said it is true. No. Subjected to. Is it applicable anywhere? Ask questions. Africans, we've been trained to just look at the person and say, this one is a big chief, or so whatever he's saying is true. No. Question. That's how we are going to get forward. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you. The truth that we know and practice is responsible for our results, individually and as a company, as a group, as a country, as a continent. The truth that we know, if what we know cannot be applied everywhere by anybody, anywhere to get the same results, look at it again. And especially if you look at the results and they are frustrating and there are a lot of inconsistencies, and you seem to be asking a lot of questions and it hits you, you know that there's something somewhere that may be far from the truth. So find out. Don't just believe so much in what you know. Find out. Is it working? And is it working? Has it worked anywhere? Has it worked for everybody? Find out. Because the truth you know is responsible for your life. The truth you know and practice. The truth you know and practice is going to be responsible for every fulfillment, your joy, the lives that will change. The lives that will change, the people that you help, the progress that you bring, the value that you add. They are all going to be founded on that, and nobody can take you out. If you're afraid of life, just find out the truth. You'll never be afraid. And you are so confident because of what you know. And that truth will preserve your life. Thank you very much for watching.